Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sportsbet TV for the very first time in 2024. It's great having you along, and we'll look forward to what's going to be another great racing year. Without a doubt, there'll be some terrific action under both codes. This service is all about trying to find horses at decent prices, very often big odds each way, and that is what has seen us do so well over the more than 3.5 years. We've been providing you with free tips here at Sportsbet. If you happen to be finding us for the first time, then just click on the subscribe button below the screen and you'll be able to join me whenever we post a message. Now, you may already know that as far as Saturday goes, they've abandoned the meeting at Sandown because it's waterlogged at the Esher track. And there's pretty much a dearth of runners in the better races across the card at the remaining meetings. But I do have the one selection for you at Wincanton, where there is going to be an inspection on Saturday morning, but the trade press is saying that the clerk of the course there is optimistic racing will take place. I certainly hope so. Now, last week I just gave you the one selection. That was Mary, who ran as though she'd had a bit too much of the Christmas cheer and didn't do us any favours on this occasion. But we ended the month of December with a £31 profit. Remember, we had a big winner right at the start of the month. And that meant that the final 6 months of 2023, just as an example, gave us an overall profit of £627 to the nominal £10 each way stakes. And that can't be bad for free. Remember, though, it's not just about sending out winners. Okay, look, we all love to back winners, but it's about showing a profit. It's about the bottom line figure at the end of the season or at the end of the calendar year. And a lot of those regular each way places that we've been getting add up and keep the show on the road and the balance ticking over nicely. Of course, it is more difficult from the limited number of selections I'm able to offer these days here at Sportsbet, because the majority of my selections are presented at Out in Front at the Patreon service, my subscription service, where I offer plenty of selections for weekends and the big festivals, and very often for races of interest during the week as well. And I have to say, we had a fabulous Christmas and New Year at Out in Front. I didn't tip many horses. I think there were 11 tips altogether. I was quite selective because it is easy to get carried away. But those horses included Hewick, tipped at 16 to 1, won the King George. Champagne Admiral, recommended at 12 to 1, won in Ireland. Henry's Friend at 7 to 2. And there were in all 4 lovely winners and 2 good places from the selected 11 bets over the holiday period. That meant that overall, in 2023 at Out in Front, the nominal £10 each way stakes, £10 win bets there, a fantastic profit, which most tipsters will be green with envy at, of £1,548 to the tips at the nominal stakes. And then, just for good measure at Out in Front, New Year's Day, Dear My Friend was the recommended bet, recommended early on by me at 12 to 1. And he was smashed off the boards down to 7 to 2 at Newcastle, and he won very, very easily. So a great start at Out in Front, great end to the year, great start to 2024. If you want to get involved, check out the link in the description box just below this screen. It only costs £25 a month. There are no tie-in periods. You can come and go as you please, although I'm happy to say that the vast majority of subscribers stick with it week in, week out, month in, month out. And there are plenty of very happy and satisfied subscribers, I'm delighted to say. Here's my free tip for you then on Saturday, when, as I say, there isn't a huge choice to get stuck into because there are so many small fields, but plenty of bookies are trying to get your money. They're trying to get you in to have a bet, including each way. And that's why at Wincanton in the 240, a 2.5 mile handicap chase on heavy ground, where there are just 7 runners, plenty of firms are betting 3 places. They want you to get involved in these type of races, especially so on Saturday after the feature card at Sandown has already been lost. Well, it's no surprise to see Venetia Williams' George Saint heading the market. This one at around 9-4. He was on a hat-trick after recent wins at Forslas and Fakenham. He romped home at Fakenham last time in heavy ground, so I don't think the really testing ground is going to hold any fears for him, but he's gone up £12 And that's a lot of weight. When you think about it, 6 bags of sugar, that's quite a lot of weight to be carrying extra. And those 2 wins were at minor tracks. This is a better quality racetrack and a better race. And I don't think he'll be far away, but I think he could be vulnerable. Hulgoats, I think that's how it pronounced, for Paul Nicholls, made a successful return to chasing after a spell over timber when he won over course and distance in November. Um, £8 higher and over 3 miles at Sandown last time out. He never looked happy, finished well beaten there. But I think he will be happier back at this track and with the very promising Freddie Gingell claiming £5. But it has to be said that most of his form, Hulgoat, is on a fairly decent surface, so he's going to go into unknown territory on the heavy ground. I wonder if he was one of those horses that was underwater at Paul Nicholls' Ditchard yard. They had to move a lot of the horses that were in knee-deep water as the river nearby burst its banks last night, Thursday night into Friday morning. So I'm glad to see all the horses were fine and they've managed to deal with that. Now, as we know, Gary Moore is having a marvellous season and he enjoyed a fairy tale Christmas with those 3 very big winners. And we also know that Gary can get them ready first time out. So it wouldn't be a surprise to see support for his iconic Muddle, who has won on heavy ground in the past and has also run well after an absence. He returns here after a 257-day break. Tom Lacey has a horse called Dibble Decker. He's got cheek pieces on for the first time. That's a horse, not Tom Lacey, of course. But although he does have one soft ground win to his name, I think this horse is a little bit better on a sounder surface. So I'm concerned the heavy going might find him out. And it's a similar story for the Anthony Charlton trained Jackamar. Anthony, of course, taking over the training reins after Milton Harris had his license taken away from him a few months ago for some rather disturbing discretions. So, onto the selection, and I think they're dropped in class, and after a good run in a Class 2 event at Cheltenham last time out, and a winner in the past on both soft and heavy ground, I'm hoping that Go Steady, trained by Dan Skelton and the mount of Tristan Durrell, is going to go really well here and roll back the years with Tristan Durrell, or Tristan Durrell even, claiming a handy £3 off his back. Now, this horse, all horses do, all thoroughbred horses, I'm sure you know, they begin the year a year older, New Year's Day, regardless of when they were foaled. And so Go Steady is now a 12-year-old from New Year's Day, but he showed he's absolutely no back number when he was 4th in a really good Veterans Handicap chase at Cheltenham just 3 weeks ago. And he might well have gone quite a bit closer, but for a mistake at the second last when he was right down on his nose, and his jockey did really well to stay with him and pick him up. His last win came at Stratford in March under Tristan Durrell, who seems to get on really well with the horse. That was over 2 3/4 miles. And he went close over hurdles as well at Uttoxeter in November, just missing out by a neck. So there's no doubt about it. Go Steady is in really good heart at the moment. And given that he stays well, that he handles the ground, he comes into the race in good form, I think the offer that is generally there with most firms now, and many paying 3 places of 6 to 1 each way, at the likes of William Hill, 888 Sport, Betfred, Bet365, Bet UK, Bet MGM, they're all offering 6 to 1 each way for 3 places in this 7-runner race. And I think that Dan Skelton's veteran will give us a really good run for our money. So he's my selection for you for Saturday. If you're looking for others, then check me out at Out in Front. It'd be great to have you along, especially with the winners really flowing. But one way or another, I look forward to you joining me again, same time next week, when I'll have another free selection or 2 on this service. I wish you the very best of luck and have a great weekend. Bye-bye for now.